Hi Libra, welcome to your mid-July 2020 General Tarot Update. It's Rena here. Da 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 da. How is life treating you? Ooh, well you just got the Strength card. So great to be working with this deck again. This is the Wild Unknown Tarot deck. Sometimes I get, in a little bit of a, I don't know if you call it a rut, but I just am habitually using the deck I normally use, the Morgan Greer deck, and I saw how my cards kind of splayed out, and I'm talking about this deck, and I said, well, I think I'm going to count them and use this deck. It's a sign from the universe. The heart of the matter is the Strength card, and this is connected to Leo. Look at that 8. Well, it's the infinity symbol, too. And actually, in this deck, the Strength card is 11. I would like to know why that is. Why some decks have it 8, some have it 11. The Justice card which is your card, is the other one that's usually the 11. So this connects to Leo. So obviously if you're dealing with a Leo person in any capacity, that might be what is going on. And for yourself, growing in confidence, growing in that inner fortitude for whatever reason. Usually I think there's probably something that has been challenging that, has made you have to kind of fight back in some way, regain your dignity. Could that be it? Because we have here in the past position the 7 of Swords. Now look at that shady, foxy look. And I noticed that in UK they say dodgy. So would this be a dodgy look? I think that means sketchy. And by the way, the Strength card could even be on the physical level. If you've had any kind of immune issues and now you're regaining them, the 7 of Swords in the past position can mean that you've kind of kept yourself. Maybe you've been, staying away from others because of some sort of illness, and regaining that physical strength. But if this is some kind of sketchy behavior on somebody else's part, then you have the dignity of the lion to reclaim your self-esteem. Obviously, Libra is a sign that prefers to be in a partnership. But even Libra has his and her breaking point, where they're not going to take it anymore. And so they will do whatever it takes to, extricate themselves from a situation that is beneath them. And one thing about Libra that no one should get twisted is that Libra is a cardinal sign. So they can take action. And this is a very important thing to have, because some people will be paralyzed by their fears and they won't take action, and Libra does. As much as Libra wants to get along and wants to be with somebody, if they feel like that other person is just not into them, not participating fully, is cheating, 7 of Swords, being deceptive in some way, they're going to book. The higher message is the High Priestess, and this is the ability to read between the lines, to go within, and this takes care of 90% of these sketchy con artists. Because it's possible, if you're nodding your head that you're dealing with this Libra, that you didn't want to see the red flags, perhaps, or that you kind of wrote it off as not a big deal, and now come to find out it is a lot bigger deal than you really gave yourself or gave it credit for. That it really is something that has to be dealt with at a high level. And you may have been like, well, it is what it is. This other person probably has commitment issues, but I'm going to give them another chance. And then the High Priestess is that you have intuition. You have a higher self. And, Libra is very analytical, is intellectual, but the High Priestess is the third eye to me. It's not the intellect. What crosses you is the Ace of Swords. So you might want to be moving forward, and yet you feel like something is holding you back. It might just be like a timing issue where, especially in July, in the part of July, because this reading is intended from the early to mid part of July, that the sun's sign is Cancer. We just had a lunar eclipse in Capricorn, these two other cardinal signs, and Cancer is your 10th house of career. You have, and it also represents the father. You have Capricorn being your 4th house of home and family, where the lunar eclipse was. And this can be the mother, the childhood. And this is particularly, I think, this lunar eclipse that just happened the other day as I record this on the 7th of July. It happened on the 5th or late on the 4th, So this might have been very emotional time for you. Realizations may have been popping up for you, and this still may come into play in the months ahead. Letting go, or being able to, maybe not, being able to by yourself, but having this little boost to being able to let go of some of the things from the past that have, stuck with you, stayed with you, and perhaps kept you in this holding pattern to one degree or the other. But with that comes a lot of strong emotion, and it can be that residual emotion that makes it hard to kind of forge ahead. So be gentle with yourself, Libra. If you have been dealing, for instance, with relationship issues, I'm talking about like romantic relationship, give yourself time as well. Don't expect, I think that as July progresses, I will be coming back for a, end of July reading within the week. And that will be when the sun is in Leo, and that's a friendly angle. It's a sextile to Libra. And that can make it much easier for you. It's more social, to enjoy things. You also have Mars in your opposite sign of Aries. And so that may be something where maybe you're in a divorce court. 7th house can be, a courtroom situation. And this may be the absolute last thing that you wanted, but you have to keep the strength going. And you might want to just move forward in your life. And why do I have to litigate this now? Well, sometimes we have to close a chapter in our life before we can move forward. What is coming in is represented by the Star card. Isn't this nice? Now this is connected to Aquarius, if that's relevant, but the Star card is about hope and healing being restored. I just got this card for Sagittarius, and I was saying something similar. about an experience I had with this card where I drew it. I used to read for myself before I ever read for other people. And it was kind of an interesting experience. I never do that nowadays. I know some readers read for themselves. But I remember when I was looking it up, because I didn't have these definitions, interpretations memorized, I remember reading that this was a card of feeling your hope restored after maybe a long ordeal. And I remember feeling this sense of relief that this was a good omen about something that had, been this long-standing thing in my life, and thinking, yes, maybe it is starting to dissipate. And it just allowed me to let go of resistance that was still remaining. And so the same thing can happen to you, where you see the light at the end of the tunnel. Just like with the Strength card, you're getting these Major Arcana cards, 3 out of 6 cards. And the Major Arcana cards only comprise a fraction of the total deck. About, 1/5 of it. Well, more like almost 1/4. Yeah, no, 1/4, I would say. A little bit more than 1/4, whatever. You get the drill. Many more Minor Arcana cards. And you got 50% major. So that could indicate that you're experiencing a lot of change right now. And it's for the better, and you're starting to see this trend of good things happening. And speaking of good things, the outcome, Son of Wands, which is the Page of, I'm sorry, I keep saying Son of Wands is Page of Wands, Knight of Wands. This is a sense of this is like a double fire energy. So having that gutsy, quality in your life, having that sense of really, more vim and vigor, as they call it, energy, kind of like Knight of Wands can be very daring. If this is a person, I think it's connected to Sagittarius. But I personally link Aries to this card. And because to me it's a warrior, kind of at least the Rider-Waite makes it out to be a warrior. But in any case, the fire element, that sense of independence, autonomy, and with the Knight there's a youthful quality to it. The young adulthood, which represents the period where you're making the rules for your life. So if you're middle-aged and you're saying, well, I'm not in my 20s anymore, you might not be, or I'm not even in my early 30s. You might not be, but it doesn't mean that you have to settle for whatever is in front of you. You can create, or co-create, is probably a better way of putting it, your reality. And it starts, to me, with belief in unseen forces, the Star card. Okay, Libra, that's what I have for you. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you'd like a private reading, I'm really into astrology, in case you haven't noticed. But I do tarot as well. You can check out what I offer on my website, rainandmoonastrology.com. The link is below. Have a great day and a great week. Take care. Bye.